Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video of an older black woman defending herself for dating younger men. Let's get right into it.
Mainly, especially in these third world countries, the younger man is going after the older women because they're looking for an easy way out. They're looking for an easy life. And, a lot of them prey on lonely women, insecure women, just mostly women like that, who are insecure about themselves, about life, and they're just super lonely and they scared to be alone, among other reasons, I'm sure. So, but for me, I'm not a lonely woman. I'm not insecure. I just know what I like, and I know what, if I find something or someone that makes me happy, why not? There's some lines that can't be crossed, of course. There's some limitations to that type of stuff for me, but it's something that's just there. I've always been interested in younger men. I've dated men my age and if not older, and if they worked out, I wouldn't be where I am today, right? So, and even with dating somebody my age, there's all kinds of things that could happen, a lot of barriers that could be in the way that can make it not work. But those, you can have some differences and barriers in people your same age. So I really don't think it's the age that really makes the big difference. I think it's all on the maturity of the young man. So, of course, Daniel, there's some things he do that I say, I see your age. And then there's moments, a lot of times, where I'll be forgetting that he's that much younger than me. So it's the maturity. But some are barriers, like the accents, we mentioned before, the way he says some words, and even how his accent can get in the way. And for me, I don't think I have an accent because I'm from America, but I do. I do. So the way we pronounce our words are definitely different than the way they pronounce some of their words. So I get that.
So here's an older black woman from America. Clearly she's overseas. I guess you could call her older passport sis. And she's dating younger men. Okay, and it makes sense to me because, one, she's a sugar mama, right? She's providing money and resources, right? But what I find funny about her is, I don't know if you guys could tell, but she has a tongue ring. This older black cougar got a tongue ring, okay? And she has tattoos, as you can see. She has a tramp stamp across her chest. She got a big tattoo on her arm. And she got bingo wings. To me, tattoos on women, I'm not a big fan of it. If you're going to have tattoos, you better be in great shape. I think tattoos are only for people who actually lift and have a good body. Because if you don't have a great body, why draw attention to it? And here's an example of what I'm talking about. Here is a woman who her body is aging, it's older, it's saggy, and she's drawing a lot of attention to it by the tattoos. They just don't age well. So for most women, if you care to look good in your 50s and your 60s, don't get tattoos. Just don't. It just does not age well. And, this lady clearly wants to sell her sexuality and stuff like that. But let me tell you something, women. You're only allowed to sell that for so long. Selling sex in your 50s and your 60s is crazy, yo. It really is. So why do you still have a tongue ring? It's beyond me, but let her tell it.
All right, but we manage. We be patient and we re-ask. What do you say? Can you repeat that slowly, or have whatever needs to be said to get a better, clearer understanding? When it comes to kids, yes, I have my own kids already. He has none. We've discussed that, and I'm not keeping him from having kids. He's gonna always be able to have kids, but right now we both realize and understand that kids are not part of our future. And believe me, that was a very long discussed conversation, and it actually wasn't even long, because he was just adamant on, like, nope, I ain't ready for none. I don't want none right now. I don't care if I don't have kids. It's not a big deal for me, and it's not a traditional thing with him. And even his family, I've talked to his both parents, and they're saying they're okay, they're good. So if one time, if the way life works, if I go before him, then he'll still be able to have kids later on if that's what he chooses. So that's where that is with the kids. Religion, you know, we're both okay with that. We both will have faith. We believe in God. We pray together, go to church together, so we're good on that. And so let's talk about some of these remarks you guys be saying. So you guys say green card. Well, it could be true. But when I'm dating somebody, especially somebody in another country, or while I'm here, the first thing I say is, I'm never going back to America. And I'm not taking anybody to America. So if you're looking for a free ride to America, I'm not the one. Not at all. I don't have money. I came here with no money. So I'm struggling here, just trying to make my life work, trying to put things together for me to create some income so I can just live comfortably and happy. So there's no room for trying to get a green card out of me unless I change my mind later. As far as Daniel goes, we've discussed too, like America is not his plan. He wants to go to Germany. So that's what he's working on, to be able to take a trip to Germany. So that's his thing.
So now she's revealing more information, and if you look at the channel is called Danielle and Von Setta. She got a very old name. I think Von Setta might be an old name. Any kind of Settas or Ettas, old names. And apparently she's a passport sis in Ghana. Passport sis in Ghana, who's broke, by the way. She came to America broke, so she can't help you go back to America. But even if you're broke in Ghana as an American, I'm sure you might have opportunities that the native people don't have. So I'm not saying she's raking in the cash, but listen, she's doing passport sis all wrong. She's doing it all wrong. Oh my God. Oh my God. And this is what's going to happen to a lot of you elderly women who essentially age out of the dating market in America. You're going to bring your old ass to another country such as Africa and try to prey on the young men. At least have a bag. At least let that young man get a bag for working with your old behind. Okay? He can't even get that. Okay? He just gets wrinkles and stinkles. Whatever. Yeah. Not my cup of tea, man. If you want that, you want that. But let me just, give her some real hard truth right now. Truth number one, baby girl, that weave is bad, okay? When you have a bad weave when you're younger, it's bad, but when you get older, it starts to look just insane. Like things that look decent on girls when they're younger, it doesn't age well. Another thing that I try to tell black women, these weaves, you got to spend so much time learning how to get a good weave and this weave and that weave and ignoring your own hair. But guess what? When you're older, it looks crazy. It looks crazy. I'm thinking about doing a reaction to the Kendra G video that O'Shea Duke Jackson did. And her weave looked crazy at the Super Bowl, right? And Kendra G's like pushing 50. It looks crazy, right? The part doesn't make any sense. Like that part, it doesn't look real. Then you see some of your real hair coming in on the sides there. It looks horrible. It looks horrible. So again, a couple of advice for women who, if you're fortunate enough to see old age, if any of us are fortunate enough to see old age, you want to be in the gym. A lot of you lazy girls want to get BBLs because you're lazy and, you want something quick, you want immediate, we're in this microwave economy where everybody has to have everything right now. No one wants to delay gratification. No one wants to put the hard work in. And this is what you end up looking like. You look like someone that tried to cut corners their entire life and you just look crazy. Where to me, in my personal opinion, if you're a black girl who been doing your hair for this entire time, whether it's locks or short cut, a bob cut, braids, whatever it is, those things actually age gracefully. When I see a black woman with dreads that are older, her dreads are gray, it actually looks very beautiful. I don't know why, you guys are choosing these weaves. They don't look good. And then, it makes you look bald-headed. I don't know if she's bald-headed, but my assumption is she's probably super bald-headed, right? It makes the younger version of me, right, the 14-year-old version of me want to run by her and just snatch the weave right off her head, right, just to see what it looks like, okay? But I wouldn't do that because it's impolite. But I'm just impressed. I'm just amazed that, women can be so delusional even in their old age. It's impressive. So you take that delusion, you're broke, you're living overseas, you can't have any kids. Where is her current kids? I have no idea. But your mama is in Ghana being a sugar mama, and she ain't got no sugar.
What else can I say? Oh, okay. So again, with the green card things, you guys, some of you guys are so tunnel vision that all you guys see is the man wanting something. So for myself, let me make it clear. Like I have, I don't have citizenship, but I do have. Why can't I think of the word? Residency. I have residency for a few years, which allows me to be here as long as I want. I could come and go as much as I want. I don't need to get a visa. I don't have none of that. And so with the residency, it allows me just a little bit more freedom and leeway here than just a regular visitor without it. And I didn't have land. I bought land. I own land. I'm building on my land. So I don't need anything from anybody here to survive here. I'm doing quite well with that. But you guys, when I say the tunnel vision, you guys just think the men here need that green card to get to America. But what about some of the people who need these African people to live here in Ghana? Because believe me, I know some Americans who just only married just so they can have citizenship here. So you guys shouldn't just only be so tunnel vision to think that it's always just a man with that one. What else can I say? Okay. So I want to talk about the things that you guys say that are kind of mean and kind of harsh, that you guys don't understand how it can really impact the woman. So I've met women who are afraid to tell people that their spouse is this year's younger than them, for the fact that they feel like they'll be shamed, talked about, ridiculed. Some of these women I've talked to whose age gap is the same as mine, if not maybe 1 or 2 years more, they've lost their relationship with their kids because their kids don't understand. They scared to tell the real age of their partner because people don't understand. You can't help who you fall in love with. You can't help that if this person brings you so much joy that you just want to embrace those moments. Because sometimes it's just a bit of embracing that moment, enjoying your life, being happy, and whatever comes later, we just deal with it,
No, we don't know. This is actually old, ignorant, you haven't learned a goddamn thing type of logic. No, it doesn't make any sense. Your kids are disowning, so some women that their kids disowning them because they can't understand why they talk to such young people. Well, shout out to the kids for keeping it fair and equal, but it's not fair and equal, okay? It makes no sense for an older woman to date a younger man, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not an even exchange. But they're both, the one thing I could say is that when a man is young, and I don't know how young Daniel is, this guy that she's on to is, but you don't have that much value when you're younger. And when a woman's older, she don't have that much value either. So maybe that's the symmetrical side of things there, that they're both kind of low value, and as Daniel gets older and he gets more money and let's say he gets to Germany, he's going to leave your ass. So for you, at best, this could only be a fling, because when he wants to have kids, you can't provide for that. Okay, when his status gets up, you can't compete with the woman that he could attract. And in Ghana, I don't know. I've heard there's a lot of young people in Ghana. I heard there's a lot of young people in Africa in general. And so there's a lot of women that will compete for resources out there. And in Ghana and Africa and that continent, people are open to being second and third wives. Right? Like I've heard stories. I know of family members that are, getting a second wife and stuff like that. It's really interesting stuff. I wouldn't mind being in Africa, with a couple wives. You feel me? You never know where YouTube money going to take me. I'm telling you, if things don't end up right here in America, if I can't have the black woman that I want in America, I want a dark-skinned black woman with natural hair. She can have dreads. She can have a bob cut, or pixie cut. I'd rock with any of those. She got to have her natural hair. She got to be fit. and she got to know how to cook a good meal, a good vegan meal by that way. So, you know, if you know of any vegan chefs that match the description that I just described, and they got to be dark skinned too. I prefer dark skinned black women. The darker the better. The darker the better. Okay, then I'll be interested. But if I can't get that here, then my black ass is going to Africa. Okay, because not only would I get that there, I'm sure, but I'll have multiple wives, no problem. It's part of their culture. And so this woman here, she's dating overseas. She's a passport cis. It seems like she's loving her life. It seems like she's still just as delusional as women are in their 20s and their 30s. So a lot of these women never age. They never grow. Okay, and for her, it's all about how she feels. Oh, you can't help who you love. Yeah, you can. Have you ever fell in love with a family member and want to be with them? For some reason, people just happen to never fall in love with family, right? And incest is just because at this point now we haven't discussed incest still, right? But at some point in the future, if things keep going the way they're going, that's going to be a norm too. Incest, bestiality, all these things are going to become a norm if we keep going down the route that we're going, right? Where love is love, and you can love an inanimate object. You can love your sibling. You can love your parents. You can just love everything. And if you love them, that means you got to be with them romantically. Like, it's retarded. Romance, and to me, sexuality has to do with reproduction, and that's why we can't include family members or close relatives like that, because there's going to be issue in reproduction, right? There's a practical reason why we haven't discussed the incest. There's a practical reason why we haven't discussed the older women, because there's no reproductive value there, right? Men don't like older women in general because there's no reproductive value. You know a man likes you genuinely if he'll choose you out of a crowd. If you're a woman, if you want to know if a man genuinely likes you, he should be able to select you particularly out of a crowd of women, right? Of various ages, various appearances, various body sizes and shapes. He should be able to pick you. That's how I know I like a girl. If I could pick a girl out of a lineup, like you could put 10 other girls in front of me and that girl, and I'd want her 10 out of 10 times or 9 out of 10 times, that's how I know I really like her. But if you put her in a lineup and I'd be looking like, damn, I wish I would have had this girl more, or like that, that's how I know I don't genuinely like her. Okay, so he's just having fun with you. You building a house. Clearly he got less bread than you. He's poor and he needs to figure things out. You know, but as far as you and all the other women that could potentially be watching this, it is not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Don't date these older women. And older women, stop trying to date a man younger. Stop trying to find your groove back. You ain't Stella. You ain't gonna get it. You don't got it. Okay. And really try to give the young girls better advice, because she clearly fumbled her entire life. And now as an old woman, she's trying to put the pieces back together. Best of luck to you. Best of luck, you know. I mean, you know, I hope the menopause is not killing you. I hope the heat flashes are bearable. You know what I'm saying? I hope, you know, your skin stays together as much as it can. But it just seems like everything is just everywhere, you know. And I don't know about you, man, but this doesn't look interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? If this was the last woman on earth, I'll be celibate for the rest of my life. The rest of my life.
And so some of those words that is put out on the comments are so bad that some of these women go into depression. Now, y'all can say your comments, but I feel that you should find some of y'all need to find a better way to express your comments, because some people can't handle those types of comments. Some people can't, and I won't even say constructive criticism, because when you're giving constructive criticism, you're being polite about it. You're telling the truth, but you're not being so mean when you say it. So you know, there's some people who there's one lady that I know, she went into depression. Now, mind you, she's already tripping with her relationship because of the age gap, because of how her family feels. And then now she has to see these things that hear these things that people are saying, and which is making it worse for her, because her mental can't handle those things. And so her man is continuously trying to comfort her and assure her that it's okay. Don't worry about these people. It's just you and I. This is our life. And what that does, it puts a strain on the relationship even more, on top of what they're already dealing with trying to just live happily. luckily for myself, I can say that that stuff don't bother me. And I thank God that he has given me the strength to be a strong person that I am. But some people are just not that strong. And so I just want to say to you guys that for those of you who are putting out those harsh comments, it's not fair. It's not right. Because what if it was your child, your son, dating an older woman, and they want to be happy, and then you're ridiculing them because of the age difference?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm gonna say you're an idiot. You're a buffoon. If I had a son dating an older woman, I'm like, what are you gonna get out of it? She doesn't. Where does an older woman work out for a man in any way? Okay, I've been with older women. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I have. Ain't nothing. It ain't nothing to brag about. Ain't nothing to boast about. You know what I'm saying? There's MILFs and GILFs. Ain't nothing great about either or. You know what I'm saying? If a MILF is young, okay, that's one thing. But GILFs, it's hard for them to be young unless she started early and her kids started early, right? So there's no flex. There's no bragging about being with a woman that old. There's none. There's just none. You know, and if you happen to fall in love with a woman, you guys get married, y'all together for a long period of time, and now you're in your 60s, and so your wife's in her 60s, that's one thing. But to go after an older woman as a young man, I want you to look in the mirror, open up your palm, and smack yourself. You're retarded. You're stupid. You're dumb. You're dumb. There's nothing in it. And this is why for women, you have to live your life in a strategic way where you secure a long-term, if you want a long-term relationship, right, a perfect intimate relationship, you got to secure that man early. So he's so invested into you. You guys have been together for so long. You're the only woman he could trust like that. He can't look at another woman the way he looks at you, right? But you guys go out here and just, everything's about the way you feel for the moment. I get it. That's how women think. I get it. But if you could adapt to the corporate world, which is a very masculine environment, if you guys could adapt into these environments, you got to learn how to adapt an environment of aging as a woman. You have to learn and understand that there's things you can't do as an older woman. You have to understand that. And so when you're younger, you have to prepare for it. Like me right now, I'm preparing for old age. Am I old now? No, I'm 37. But I don't want to be a 50-year-old, 60-year-old dude talking about, bro, my funds are low, things are tight, I can't do it. I don't want to be like that. I don't know about you. But at that part of my life, I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to be so scared of a financial emergency because it could completely ruin and capsize my entire life. I don't want to be like that. So right now, I got to grind. You know, my dad used to always tell me, you got two choices. You can have life, and you can have everything you want in the front half of life or the back half of life. And a lot of people choose the front half. They choose the front half to live their life, get drunk, have a good time, spend a bunch of money, be careless, YOLO, you only live once. And then in their older years, they're struggling. I see them. I see older people at supermarkets. I see older people at gas stations. In my mind, I'm just like, man, like, you're in old age. I see older people at the laundromat. I'm like, oh my God. Like, you're old and you still don't have a washer and dryer. Like, I don't have a washer and dryer right now, but that's okay. And honestly, I pay people to wash my clothes at this point. I've been doing it for the last 2 months. It's amazing. Okay? But to see older people go out so pathetic, it's embarrassing. I would hate to see my grandmother or grandfather or grandparents, anything like this. But this is the modern day grandparent. This is somebody's grandma, okay? And she's coming online, telling everybody how they feel. And if you comment poorly or you say something that discourages her, she could fall into a Great Depression. You know, why you fall into depression? Because of the truth. It's just the truth. You know, it's just the truth. You know, I get you don't like the truth, but to be depressed because something is true, it's not worth it. But I get it, though. I get it. When things can be so bad, you think to yourself, man, I wish things were different. I get it. And so, you know, this is why people, man, value your life, man. Don't be out here wasting your life. That's why that dude dating an older woman, it's just a waste of time. You're not going to get anything. I'd rather be single alone, not even getting laid. To getting old tud ain't worth a goddamn thing. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.